stream right now. It's going to take about 2-3 seconds for it to punch across. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft here with the Facebook group BOLO RAMA Pickers Lounge, and I'm coming at you live again from beautiful Las Vegas, and I had an amazing time just now with the one and only Steve Raiken, Raiken Profits.
I'm here.
Dude, it's so great to see you. How have you been?
I have been doing absolutely amazing, man, and it's just been an honor to be able to record a video with you on my channel, and it's been so much fun just connecting and meeting up with people. You know, you talk to people on Facebook, chat, and in groups, and you see them in the YouTube comments, and it's fun and it's cool, but it's a different type of energy. It's like going to a baseball game or watching on TV, and the networking is huge. I mean, my business over the last couple of months has really been moving in an interesting direction just after networking at a couple events that I've been to, including this one. So it's been fun, man. It's been great.
Dude, it's been an absolute blast, man.
Yeah.
What is the biggest takeaway you've had so far since you've gotten here?
Well, in terms of like the eBay Open, one of the biggest takeaways I've gotten is eBay really does care. I came last year. Were you here last year?
No, I should have been.
So I was here last year, and people were angry. They were upset. They felt like they weren't being heard. They felt like eBay only cared about the buyers, and I think they really did at the time. But they listened, and they've been making a lot of changes. We were talking about them on our video, about some of the changes that are protecting eBay sellers and some of the different functionalities that they've changed. One of the things that you were talking about was when somebody wants to return an item, there's a drop-down box with a bunch of reasons. And before, it used to be all the reasons that are going to get us screwed. Mm-hmm. And now they've kind of flip-flopped it, and below the fold you have to move to now in order to, how do you say it?
Get the ones that are going to damage you, the ones that are going to hurt you.
So now, what Jay taught me was really cool is once you click forward with your reason, say you choose, what's a reason that wouldn't affect us? Like pick the wrong item or
doesn't fit.
Doesn't
fit. Yeah.
They can't go back anymore.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It kind of locks everything in. And what Raiken's referring to is we just shot a video over on his channel at his studio. Great time doing that. And we covered a whole bunch of different issues.
A bunch of eBay myths.
Yeah, you gave me an opportunity to speak on some stuff that I don't know. I haven't had much chance to sit down and kind of, I guess, vent out some of the frustrations that I felt. So if you haven't, I mean, most of you guys already know who this guy is. This guy's a legend here on YouTube within the e-commerce community. I'm honored just to even have you here right now.
I'm just a basic guy doing my thing, man, but I appreciate
this guy's a legend on the YouTube community, but we're gonna make sure we get all his details put in online. You can search Raiken Profits. It's not difficult to find this guy. Definitely subscribe, and if nothing else, go check out that video and then subscribe to his channel. You have a whole bunch of interviews that are going to be coming out over the next, month, 2 months, you think?
It's been a grind. Right now, I apologize if I look like I'm going to pass out. I've been working so hard, but a lot of people ask me, how do you stay motivated? How are you reselling books? How are you, now you're going to be getting into...
I want to hear about these books. You were telling me on the way up here that you've been doing a lot of stuff with books recently, and we do have a fair community of people who have either started on books or even some people that have some concerns that hopefully I might be able to echo onto you.
And I'm not a massive seller, and I think that's why a lot of people connect to me on YouTube. Like my sales right now, I think is like around $8,000 or $9,000 over the last 30 days, which is still significant.
Very significant.
But I'm reselling part-time. But I love books for a couple different reasons. Number one, they're abundant all over the place. Number two, you can get them dirt cheap. Number three, most people don't respect books. Go to garage sales, thrift stores, library sales. People just give them away dirt cheap. A lot of people give them away for free.
Just get them out of here.
On Facebook Marketplace. And, I have a special place in my heart for books because I remember about 6 years ago, I used to always see my mom. She would just be like sitting on the couch and just watching Lifetime for Women. And, not to get too personal, but I still remember as a young kid, like my mom and dad never really had a strong relationship and, different things I probably shouldn't get into. But she, I always felt like she was kind of alone. And I remember we went into a thrift store probably 6 years ago when I was really going hard with selling clothing on eBay, and I was full time. I would spend $300, $400, $500 on a half off day at Savers. And she used to always come, and she's such a great mother. I love my mom so much. And she used to always tag along. And one day she said, I want to resell. But I know my mom. I know how she is.
What does that mean when you hear her say that? What was the thought process you had?
I couldn't believe it because she didn't even really understand how to operate a computer. She didn't even know how to really I always say she didn't know how to click the mouse and stuff, but she was that she didn't know.
I've met people who have trouble with touch screens.
Yeah. So
it's all levels.
So she was saying, I want to do eBay. I want to sell clothes. And it's got to be for you. The grind of selling clothing is insane. And I don't actively sell very much clothing anymore. I still will sell some one-offs if I find like a really cool Pendleton or something that's going to be like $60 or $70. I'll sell it. But I was like, Mom, I don't think this is for you. It's too analytical. It takes too much time. There's too many hats you're going to have to be wearing. And at that time, I was learning a lot about selling books. And the Amazon Seller app had come out. And pretty much the app gave you the ability to be able to scan a book. And it gave you the data. And you can make a pretty nice decision whether it's a good deal or not just right off the bat. And I thought that was great for her. And
it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
You know, the doors that single application alone opens. I would pay good money for access. If that was something that was an extra $150 a month, I don't think any one of us would balk at that.
There's third-party softwares that have come out. Like I use Scout IQ nowadays.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really good friends with the founder of it, Caleb Roth. He's created the software eFlip. He has a really good spreadsheet as well. It is something he charges for, but it's unbelievable if you're looking to do like consignment deals, because consignment deals can be very complicated on Amazon because there's so many fees and stuff you have to track. But I'm a diehard fan of Caleb and everything he does. But Scout IQ is great. But anyways, back to my mom's story. Taught her how to do it, and I had no clue that she was like, I didn't think she was going to be able to succeed, like deep down inside, like because it takes so much. But man, 6 years later, just to kind of jump to the end of the story, she's been selling for over 5 years now, and she's 64 years old. She doesn't move the quickest, but she never gave up, man. And now she makes consistently over $1,000 a month profit, and sometimes it's even upwards to $2,000 a month. And you would never imagine, if you ever saw her at a thrift store, you would be like, there's no way. But she's smart. She understands technical analysis. She reads Keepa charts. She understands Scout IQ, eScores, sales ranks. She does video games now. Just recently, she expanded into eFlip. So she's doing online arbitrage at 64 years old. And that's why books is so important to me, because I know that it could change your life. It's not for everybody, and depending on where you live in the country, you may or may not have the opportunities that we have, and it is getting harder and harder and more challenging, so you're having to think outside the box and do more creative things. I just hired a scout recently because things are getting a little harder and I'm running out of time, but hopefully that answers your question.
No, it's a fantastic answer to the question. Yeah, and almost all markets are getting tighter right now, but the thing that I've always found attractive about books is that the barrier to entry, the cost and the space and the time, it's one of the easiest ones to bridge that gap for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that way you're not spending 40 hours a week learning e-commerce and 40 hours a week learning tech. You can just focus on the tech, and then the rest is kind of going to take care of itself. Pam said that's a very sweet story. Now, guys, it's not often I get someone as legendary as this guy on the channel. If you have any questions that you've been wanting to ask Raiken himself, now is a great time to ask him. This is a live Q&A. We only have him for maybe another 10 minutes. He's very busy today. But if you have a question, now is a great time to ask.
Trying to hit the spa, guys. I'm being 100% honest. I dropped
He's being honest.
I got 25 videos that I recorded in the last 2 days, so I am smoked. But I'm so glad that we saved the best video for last. Yep. So that's awesome.
Yep. Now, I wanted to ask you about something. And I know we had kind of discussed it beforehand. I think that any type of work that you do online, whether it's creating content or talking about e-commerce, there's just going to be a certain level of people who are going to try and cause problems. I don't want to say drama or haters or anything that, but
definitely drama and haters.
Why do you feel, in your opinion, that certain people will try and take negative action against certain creators like yourself or certain vendors like yourself? Where do you feel that stems from? Because I've seen you come to bat and defend yourself, I think we all would, in that position. But why do you feel that that's happened to you recently?
Well, I think there's a couple different reasons. I think there's a lot of full-time resellers who don't appreciate that some content creators aren't full-time resellers and that they're making money by essentially selling shovels to some of the resellers, which I completely understand.
Well, frankly, some people are really good at selling shovels, though.
Yeah.
And even myself, I find myself in a position sometimes where I really love being an e-commerce seller, but I feel that my efforts might be best placed helping other people.
Yeah.
Do you feel you're kind of in that same scenario?
And I go into different phases. Sometimes, I'm just all about reselling and stuff, and I don't really care about content creation. I don't care about affiliate marketing, internet marketing, selling products, selling shovels, whatever you want to call it, because I genuinely love reselling. I started YouTube not knowing you could make money from YouTube and affiliate marketing and selling products by helping people, which is the key. Why do you walk into a restaurant and pay $60 for a meal? We went to, we got Zach over there. You can't see him in the video, but we went over to the Hell's Kitchen restaurant, and I think I dropped $166 between Zach and I. And why did I pay that? Because it was of value. It was the experience. I got something out of it. And some people just don't understand that the exchange of money really comes down to value. So some people don't like me because, you know, I do sell some products and whatnot. And I've made some mistakes in the past where I was selling. You don't want to sell. Like today's day of age, you don't need to sell. If you've got something good, like what I do nowadays, I just create content that helps people. And if people have issues or they have challenges, I offer them a solution, but it's always a value. So I think that's one of the reasons. Also, some people are just insecure, man. Some people don't like to see others having success. And some people, man, like, they're not going to like me. Some people are going to hate your guts, brother. They don't like
the way you talk, like, the way you dress.
Maybe I'll just be jealous. I'll be like, man, Jay's got a nice set of hair, and my receding hairline. So I'm like, screw this guy. He's all dressed up real nice. I don't like him because of that. Or maybe I speak too fast. But when you're a content creator, when you're putting yourself out there, even when you're running an eBay business, some people aren't going to appreciate that you've got your freedom. They're not going to appreciate that they have to go in and grind their ass off for 9, 10, 11 hours and make 15, 16 bucks an hour. And you just went into a thrift store and you're telling me you just found a Clive backpack, flipped it from the Goodwill outlet, from the bins for $1, you bought it and sold it for $8.50. That was one of my guests that I interviewed yesterday. So there's a whole plethora of reasons, but you know, as you start to mature, you realize it's okay that not everybody likes you. But if you know deep down inside that you're coming from a place of value and you're doing your best and you're not trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, and if you make a mistake, you admit it. I mean,
yeah, no, I understand completely. We have a question here, and I don't mean to derail too hard. NASCAR man, he's a fellow content creator. It's a very valid question. He asked, what can somebody who was where you were at very early on, when you first started creating YouTube content, what do you do to get that valuable content out there further? And frankly, I think I could benefit from that answer too. Yeah. I'm having a lot of issues with reach. What did you do early on that you feel really gave you that extra push?
I think for me, it was a combination of being a little bit lucky. I know this isn't going to help you guys out very much, but I got into YouTube when there wasn't a lot of competition and there was a big need. People are always looking to learn how to make money. And at the time, there was really only 10 or 15 people making videos. So I want to be 100% honest. I did get a little lucky. I was at the right place at the right time. But I think my advantage being that, and I sincerely say this, I'm not the brightest bulb. I'm not the smartest. I hang out with guys like Jay and I'm like, holy crap. Like I was saying to Zach, this guy's like freaking eBay rocket scientist.
Thank you.
But you got to just be yourself and be consistent and listen to your audience. And for me, I think people connect with me because I'm just the average guy. I make a mistake and I admit it and I learn my lessons, and I have flaws just like everybody else, and I'm ADD and I'm all over the place and I'm trying to make things work, and I just share my wins and my losses, my ups and my downs. But I think also as a content creator, for me, something that really helped was putting my ego aside and saying, it's not all about me, it's about the people. How can I bring people the most value possible? And for me, that was interviewing people such as yourself and 25 other people that I interviewed today and the hundreds over the last couple of years. So trying to figure out what people need, what they need help with, and listening in the comments and putting your ego aside.
Yeah, that's really important. I know there's a lot of people that get very wrapped up in the idea of becoming a rock star, a celebrity.
And don't do it for the money.
Yeah, the money has to be a result of your
value.
Your value, your compassion, your effort into the industry. What are you actually putting out there? Can you put stuff out there that you say, yes, this is worth getting payment back? Like, do I feel like I have earned the dollars? Sean Herrick right now, $25 super chat.
$25.
The one and only. Sean Herrick's the owner of a company called Prairie Grit. Let me ask you, have you heard of this company?
What's it called again?
Prairie Grit.
I haven't.
It's a new e-commerce platform.
Okay.
I do work with them. I handle some of the affiliate management stuff on the back end. And thank you for that, Sean. I truly do appreciate that. We'll put it towards dinner. That's what we'll do. But they're looking to shake up the industry, and they offer an unlimited listing option for $100 a month, which is, I think it's pretty competitive, especially if you're somebody who's doing mega volume. Wow. Like if you're doing like a lot of books, for instance, because I know sometimes when you do books, you can end up with 5,000, 10,000 listings, and sometimes they might even get a little bit stale. But with that, you can just dump.
That's interesting.
You can just import all the listings straight across, and then you pay $100 a month to have them active. And
that sounds really cheap for that service.
There's no final value fee.
Yeah.
You pay no fees on the
cool.
back end. So it's just a flat rate. You just pay that one amount, and that's all you pay. So thank you to you for that, Sean.
Appreciate
we definitely appreciate that. So on the topic of brand deals, and I believe it or not, they're going to hate me. I actually forgot about this. Have you ever heard of this one? This is a 360 ID tag, and they're going to hate me because I don't have the script here with me now. So this is kind of cool. We looked at this item. You can crack that open. So we looked at this item earlier, maybe 2 months ago. And this is an item so that way you're able to protect your garment sales.
Oh, wow.
And have you ever had an item where it was maybe a really expensive dress or something, maybe $200-300 item, and you're worried that the person's buying it, they're going to wear it one time and then return it back?
Oh, yeah.
Or you're selling a brand new dress and they're going to hide the tag. So the way that works, we want to unravel some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you do is you unravel a portion of it and then you run it through your item. So you might have it go through the sleeve, for instance.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the inside and outside. And then you take one of these tags. This is such a nuts thing, okay? You take one of these security tags. I'll show it to you guys right there. You can see it. And you stick the two ends together. So it creates a loop.
Okay.
So if they tamper with it, if they either cut that off or they break the seal, you can tell that they've done something to the item. Because if they just want to try it on, they can still try it on. It's not going to impede their ability. But it keeps them from renting your goods. And it creates...
That's so unique.
Yeah, it creates that whole, I don't really want to buy from this person
quality.
if I'm it's high quality.
Really nice.
Well, the whole idea is it's meant to not be tampered with. So they were nice enough to send us out one of these guys. We have an extra one that we're going to be able to do a giveaway for. We'll probably set something up with Raiken here in the future. We'll do an Instagram giveaway or something for the extra unit. But check them out. They were nice enough to send us not only a unit to be able to show you guys, but the other application they did with it too. They put them on sunglasses. They ran it just right around the center frame.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people buy sunglasses, they'll rent them. They'll go on vacation and they want really nice sunglasses. And I don't know, it's absurd. So thank you to 360 ID Tag for sending that out to us, as well as Sean Herrick for the $25 super chat. So I know your time's very limited. I want you to give me the hardest lesson you've had through this whole process. Because I know a lot of people, they have their little tidbits and the things that they know, but there's always something that you look back on, you're like, I really wish I knew this day one, or I really wish it didn't cost me so much to learn this lesson that I might be able to share with somebody else.
I think the biggest lesson, and I'm still learning about this now, and I'm still realizing the impact it has on my life, is who you hang out with, who you listen to, who you allow to infiltrate your mind is going to be a super strong direct correlation to the results that you get in your life. If you're hanging out with people who are telling you that starting a business is hard, do you know that the first year, 70% fail? I don't know, I'm just throwing that number out. And after 5 years, 95%, maybe you probably know the statistic better, but it's a ridiculously high number. If you allow those things to penetrate your mind, that's going to become your reality. Now, I'm not trying to get all wishy-washy, but I'm really big into self-development and Tony Robbins, and I truly believe that the thoughts that you have, the people you hang out with, the events that you put yourself into, and the people you surround yourself with, it's gonna affect your results. When I was 21 years old, I got arrested. I was in trouble. I got locked up. I was doing things that I shouldn't. I was hanging out with people, the wrong people. And in order for me to change my life, I had to get away from those people, and I had to surround myself with people who wanted something out of their life. And I honestly, truly, and this is why I'm so passionate about YouTube, if it wasn't for my YouTube channel and for all the amazing people that I was able to connect with through, the growth of my channel and the people that come into my life now because they want to be a part of the Raiken Profit and they want to spread the love and network and stuff. If it wasn't for YouTube, I'd probably still be working at my old crappy 9-to-5 job and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. So if you want to change your life, if you want to start a business, start getting around people. You don't have to physically be around people to kind of fit the rule of Jim Rohn. What he says is you're the average of the 5 people that you
spend the most time with,
something like that. And Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor.
Yeah.
It goes back deep. So, don't listen to the BS that people say. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of people like to kind of tell you how it is based on the way that they've lived their life. But man, we've gone to the moon. Human beings have come so far. It's just amazing. That's why I love reading biographies and studying successful people and whatnot. So, if you're not getting the results that you want right now, ask yourself, who am I hanging out with? Who am I surrounding myself with? Whose mentality am I taking on?
We talked about the other day on one of my shows where we explain the importance of just removing that toxicity out of your body. And sometimes just the people around you, they're putting toxic energy right into you. And there's so many people that I've run into who are welcoming of it and allow it to stay there. And one of the lessons that kind of touches on what you've talked about is that I've learned this, that it's better to suffer the pain of loneliness than the pain of negative company. Okay.
And, I'm still struggling with this, man.
It's hard.
I'm being 100% honest with you. There's certain aspects and parts of my life where I'm giving this advice and I'm contradicting myself. But I've made a lot of changes.
It's difficult to take that person of 5, 10, 15 years and say, you know what, hey, you need to go take care of you. And if you get your stuff sorted out, guess what? Open arms.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to take you back. But for now, you're slowing down, because it's not just the business.
Yeah.
It's how you feel as a person. It's the relationships you have, your partner.
Yeah.
You're married, right?
No, just a girlfriend. Yeah,
just a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures together. You guys look like husband and wife material. You guys have that look about
it's
you.
Coming.
But that's the thing. Every time you keep that negativity around you, you end up putting energy into that could be put into the people that genuinely love you and genuinely care about you.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's only so much you have to give.
Exactly.
And if you're giving it to the wrong people.
And if you want to be successful, especially reselling, eBay, Amazon, it's really not rocket science. Like, there's a formula, there's ingredients. We went to Hell's Kitchen last night, and the reason it's so amazing because there's a system that you follow and a process, and you cook it a certain way, and you get these certain ingredients, and you get these $400 pans that you cook it in or whatever. I don't know what they're doing over there, but it was amazing last night. But it's a recipe. There's a formula for it. And I think it's the same thing with eBay. But the problem is a lot of times we get in our own way.
Yep. Well, with the restaurant, you could go back tonight and order the exact same thing that you ordered last night, and it will come out the exact same way.
You're trying to tell me, Jay, that you want to go to Hell's Kitchen?
I would love to go to Hell's Kitchen. Sean, we're going to need you to cover the cost of Hell's Kitchen.
We need to get a $300 super chat right now.
Would you do a video talking about Prairie Grit if you paid for our dinner to Hell's Kitchen tonight?
For sure, man.
Sean, this is your one chance to get Raiken to do a video on it. Pay for Hell's Kitchen.
Here's the kicker.
What's the kicker?
I don't know if people realize that YouTube takes 50% of that super chat.
Oh, it's not that much. No.
Really? I thought it was 50.
No,
I'm
God,
sorry
no.
I thought it was 50.
No, it's right around 25%.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not that horrendous. Sean, if you want to even PayPal it, save some fees. I got my cell phone here.
Zach's probably freaking out.
Yeah. He wouldn't mind going back, I'm sure.
We'll get him on a live Google Hangout. Talk right about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And here's the thing. You're going to get the same meal each time. Like, even McDonald's, they talk about that. They say they want each Big Mac and each restaurant to come out tasting the exact same way, regardless of where you're at.
Yeah.
And I look at e-commerce in the same way. If you do the same steps and you have consistency in your actions, you put the time into sourcing, you put the time into research, you put the time into listing, you put the time into package ship, guess what? You're going to get the same result out every single time. So when you say it's not hard, I 100% agree with you. Obviously, the first year, the education, the build-up,
the hard
speaking
part,
with people, you're building that road.
You don't know. Your headlights are only showing 20 feet in front of you. You don't know the next step, what's around the corner.
He said he's going to PayPal us.
Oh my gosh.
Sean, he said that if you pay for Hell's Kitchen this evening, what about 250? 250, 300.
Probably somewhere around. It's
250
not cheap.
to 300. He said,
gosh.
If you pay for Hell's Kitchen, he said he'll do.
He's trying to get drinks.
He'll do a Prairie Grit video where we'll sit down, we'll have a good talk about it.
Get him on a live show, man.
Live show. And he'll talk about it and get it going. So I'm almost certain that he'll fire that over for us. But we'll keep our eyes open for that. So I really do find a lot of value in the advice that you give, because it's very genuine. And again, I don't want to speak ill of other people. I don't want to say that anyone else is being disingenuous. But there is a lot of disconnect sometimes between the connections that are built in certain ways through YouTube. And as you were saying, it's a combination of work ethic. And I always tell people there's nothing that we inherently do that's going to make your business successful. We're not going to turnkey it. At the end of the day, you have to put in the effort. You have my email, Sean. It's scrolling on screen.
Sean's trying to get us over to Hell's Kitchen right now, huh? You should see Zach's reaction. I wish you guys could see. He's over there leaning on his tripod.
You want to come over and say hello to everyone?
He's salivating.
Come around this way. Let everyone know who you are.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Carroll, videographer for Steve Raiken, taking all sorts of photos and videos on this trip.
He's
been
killing
real
it.
cool.
What's your Instagram? So that people want to get in touch
Zach_Carroll. That's ZACK_CARROLL.
He does really good work.
Man, thanks for having me on here. This is super cool. I've never even really seen a live setup like this before.
Yeah, no, it's
groovy. It's pretty cool. I like these lights, these mics.
Thank you so much. The people don't realize how much we have on the other side of what we're looking at right here. And they might even be back later this evening. We're talking about maybe doing a couple more minutes or something and having them come back through. Rise and grind. Hey, everyone. I sent you a message, Shane,
what's up, man?
about
Good
having you come up. Hell's Kitchen, Minneapolis is amazing. Sean, we need to know, before we end this stream, are we going to Hell's Kitchen or not? Because I'm looking at my phone. Hello to all the wonderful people that are commenting. But yeah, no, it's been fantastic. Is there anything else you want to leave everyone with? Obviously, I want everyone to go, you know who he is, but go check out his channel. Go subscribe. We'll make sure we get a link jammed in there as well. But is there anything else that you've wanted to get onto camera at some point in time?
Yeah, one thing I want to say, in 2019, there's a million YouTubers. There's a ton of information. A lot of it is great information. There is some misinformation out there, but I'd say for the most part, it's a lot of good apples, people out there trying to do the right thing. But you got to figure out what's right for you. You know, when you're first getting started, don't be scared to taste a bunch of different flavors. Try a bunch of different things. eBay, Etsy, Amazon. What do we got right there?
Sean said he's logging into PayPal right now.
Oh, man. You're the best, brother.
Sean's a savage. He's a great guy.
But appreciate you, Sean. But be willing to try a bunch of different things and see what works for you, because I love selling books. I got my mom into selling books. I started selling clothing. I started with bikes, actually, but things change over time. So don't be scared to try different things and see what works best for you and your personality. And all because I'm having a ton of success with books, and what I define as success might not be successful for you, right? So let's put that out there clear. You know, for you, it might be making $1 million a year, or for someone else, it might be making $10,000.
Where is your bar at? Where do you say? Where do you get to? Because I would love to know this.
Yeah.
Where do you get to, and you say, you know what? This is exactly what I've wanted out of life.
Yeah. So for me in my business over the last couple of years, like I've been consistently making anywhere from like $10,000 to $30,000 a month.
Okay.
Like consistently, from two sides of the business: the whole social media, internet marketing, and the reselling. Sometimes it's been heavy internet marketing, making a lot of money there. Other times it's been Amazon killing the Q4, and you know, I never made like a ton of money with eBay. Like my best month was probably like getting up to like $7,000, $8,000 a month with eBay. But you know, I guess for me, that's kind of like been the sweet spot the last couple of years. It's allowed me to buy my first multifamily property. It's allowed me to buy my dream car paid cash, although I'm going to be selling it because I realize I don't really care that much about the materialistic stuff. It's allowed me to be able to travel and go to conferences and seminars. So that's been a really nice sweet spot for me. But really, at the end of the day, right now, I'm really pumped up to be living my life not based on money, but based on my passion and making a difference. So if you find a way to add value and make a difference, I know it sounds corny, the money will come if you're smart and strategic.
My channel understands that.
Yeah, okay.
I would say on other channels, if you said something like that, it might fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
But I think here, we've always had the emphasis on good education, good community.
Yeah.
You know, really trying our hardest beyond the dollar amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to figure out what you want, but start small. Start $100 a month, $300 a month, and $1,000 a month. Slowly build. Don't overwhelm yourself too much. But once you finally taste everything and you figure out what you like, go into it. You know, don't fall victim to the shiny object syndrome. And you know, I've built up multiple income streams over the last 6 years, but it was putting in a lot of effort at first to get something going, and then building out systems. And sometimes things fade away after a while, and other times things stick. You know, I still make $1,000 to $2,000 a month from my Kindle publishing business that I launched like 5 years ago. I don't even do anything with it anymore, and I'm just going to let it just
How
do
much
its
a month?
thing. $1,000 to $2,000 a month.
That's fantastic.
Kindle publishing, CreateSpace, and Audible. Right? It's slowly dying. It was up at $10,000 a month 4 years ago, but oh man, we going out to dinner tonight, boys.
You want to thank him?
Yeah, so Sean, I just want to give you a big shout out. Send me an email if you can at raikenprofit@gmail.com, and we can set something up. So we'll get on probably on a live call. We'll talk some strategy.
We can all jump on there.
Yeah, if you want to come on too, we'll talk some strategy and figure out the best way that we can, help and serve you. And you could, we'll just share some cool stuff with the audience.
And I'll be honest,
yeah.
and I don't want to sound shilly or anything, but even beyond the revenue, the potential for that company is, honest to God, it's insane.
I want to learn more about it
really
because
is,
I don't know a lot about it. But
well, there's nobody that's doing like a fixed pricing model like that. And I think that the only resistance that people have felt is because, you look at the total cost. But I explain to people, I'm like, you're paying $60 a month for your eBay store, and then you're paying all your front end fees for all your listings. If you got 1,000 listings, you're already paying an extra, I don't know, like $70 on top. Yeah. Then you got your fees on the back end. If you're doing $5,000 a month, you're paying $400 or $500 in fees.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. So if you have the opportunity to move your inventory without paying the back end fees, why the heck not?
Yeah. Let's talk, Sean. Thank you so much, Sean. We really
Sean,
appreciate it.
Just so we have full transparency, Sean sent over $300 for us to be able to go out to Hell's Kitchen this evening. And Zach is losing his mind over here.
Sean, thank you so much. You're blowing my mind. I had some Brady short rib last night, and it was incredible. By far the most expensive meal I've ever had. And so, thanks again.
Until tonight.
Until
tonight. But yeah, dude. And honestly, and the thing is, Pam, could you please put the link in the comments so that people are able to get to the website? If you haven't checked out the website, go check it out. Like, now is a better time than ever, because with all the changes that eBay is doing and all the tools that are coming into place to be able to get all of that stuff online, people are going to be listing more than ever. People are going to be shopping more than ever. Yeah. And being able to, the thing that I like the most, because I'm not paying final value fees over there, I mark everything down 5% immediately. I import it and it goes down 5% because I can sell it 5% less there and make more money if I sell it elsewhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
so I'm able to offer just, I guess, more to the consumer. They go through Google Shopping. It indexes really well on Google Shopping. So they'll end up going through Prairie Grit doing the order there instead of doing it on eBay.
I'm excited to learn a lot more about it. So we'll dive in, Sean, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
So with that giant bombshell, go check out the site. Pam just put a link in the description. You can check it out there. Check out Raiken's channel. Check out Zach's Instagram. Okay, if you're looking for definitely assistance with editing, or if you just want to say hello to him. But thank you so much to all the people who helped make this possible. Sean, big thank you to you. Big thank you to 360 ID Tag for sending that product out. And we're going to do a great giveaway with the extra unit that they sent us, and probably talk a little bit more about it on the Sunday show. And a big extra special thank you to our patrons who did help make this this entire eBay open thing possible. Raiken, would you do me the honor of using my catchphrase to close out our show this evening? It would mean the world to me.
Let's do it. So yeah, if you don't make that money, someone else will.
That's about as good as it's going to get, guys. Have a wonderful evening.